Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the athomedive YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joey, and today we're in the kitchen making another fantastic classic. So, today we're going to be making pad thai, which is a lot of fun for many reasons. First of all, it's really inexpensive. Second of all, it's pretty fast and easy once you've made it a couple times. And third of all, since it really is not something that most of you commonly eat, you're going to get all the excitement of going out to eat without the hassle or the bill. So sit back, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Probably no surprise to most of you that one of the first things we're going to start with here are the classic flat rice stick noodle, because it is a very iconic noodle typically associated with pad thai. You can cook yours however you choose. Typically there are directions on the back that tend to work very well, but I am going to choose to cover mine with really hot, almost boiling water, and I'm going to let mine sit for about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to rinse them and toss them in oil. While we wait for the rice noodles to soften up, we have plenty of time to go ahead and make the sauce. So to make the sauce, first of all, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, and 2 tablespoons of Mae Ploy sweet chili sauce. And we're going to add into that 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. We're simply just going to take all these things and mix them together. And it's really that simple. There's our sauce. We're gonna go ahead and set this aside, and we'll come back here in just a moment. All right, the time has passed and our noodles are now soft all the way through. I'm gonna go ahead and drain these and rinse them, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and as you can see here, the noodles are soft and rinsed. What I'm gonna do is coat them just a little bit in oil, and then I'm gonna set them aside. It is important that they are cooled down all the way so that they don't keep getting softer and softer, because you don't want mushy noodles. The oil keeps the noodles from sticking to each other, because we also don't want one just giant ball of starch that's all stuck together. All right, my friends, now it's time to get started with actually making the pad thai itself. So I'm gonna run over the list of ingredients that we have here, and then we're gonna get going. We do have the noodles, and as I mentioned, they are not sticking together. They're nice and soft, but they're not too soft, and they're not sticky. The sauce that we made earlier as well, 1/2 cup of chopped peanuts. If you wanna add a little bit of extra, never hurts. 1 cup of carrot. This is optional and also not traditional, but I love the way it gives it just a touch of crunch and also a little bit of color as well. We have 1 red bell pepper that's sliced in thin strips. I have 1/2 cup or about half a bunch of cilantro chopped, and I also have about 4 green onions that are cut on a long thin bias, 2 eggs that we are gonna beat before we use, 1 lime cut into wedges, and 8 ounces of extra firm tofu I've cut into cubes. So let's get started. The other 2 ingredients that I have in the pan already are 3 cloves of garlic that are finely minced and about 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. We will be adding about 3 more tablespoons here in a little while. But for now, I'm gonna start over medium heat, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in the tofu and place it around the outside of the garlic. So we're gonna wait for the pan to come up to temperature, and that's hopefully gonna cook a little bit of the moisture out of the edges of the tofu and get the garlic nice and toasted. And that's when we'll be able to move on to the next step. We've given the tofu and garlic just a couple minutes to wake up here, and now we're gonna go ahead and add in the red bell pepper. So by now, hopefully your tofu started taking a little bit of a texture or firmness around the edges. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoot all of our vegetables and tofu to one side of the pan. And that's gonna let the other side of the pan get really hot. Now's when we add in the other 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. Also, we're gonna bring in the egg that we had before, and I'm gonna pour it right into the pan. I'm gonna let it sit and begin to cook. After just a little while, you'll see right around the edges how the egg starts to firm up a little bit. When it does that, I simply like to go in with a spatula and chop it. This is pretty similar to whenever you make scrambled eggs in a big way. By now the egg should be almost fully cooked and starting to break into smaller pieces. That's how we know we're ready to move on. So now I'm gonna add the noodles. Once I've added the noodles, we're gonna go ahead and add in the sauce and most of the veggies. You can add in all the veggies if you like, but I like to keep a little bit of mine back for garnish on top. So I'm gonna add about 2/3 of everything. Once everything's in the pan, you're almost done. We're gonna wait and let some of the liquid down here cook into the noodles, vegetables, and the tofu, and then we're gonna be totally finished. Now the pad thai is ready to plate up. Let's do that. So I like to grab just a big tong full and put it right in the back center of the plate. That's gonna give you just a little bit of room in the front of the plate. The room in the front of the plate is gonna lend really well to things like putting a big pinch of, say, carrot or some lime wedges. And I like to put the herbs and peanuts directly over the top. So there you have it, my friends. That's how I make pad thai at home. All right, my friends, well, that wraps us up on how to make pad thai. Comment below and let me know how yours turns out. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe. Have a great day.